My name's Tony Bonnano. I live in Brisbane, and this weekend I'm sharing a car which I used to own, which now belongs to Paul Kiefer, an NA Mazda MX5. Basically the car's fairly standard. It was built by Doug Chappell many years ago. It was probably the first or second MX5 ever built for racing in the country. It's got a very colourful history. It's been driven at Bathurst, it's been driven at Targa, it's been many places. It's been a stand-in for me over the years when I haven't had a drive or wanted to drive in production sports. A fair few other people have driven this car. They've gone on to bigger and better things, but it's 3 years since the car's out. Basically, it's good to see it back out on the track. Been probably racing cars and go-karts for probably 15 years now, 15 to 20 years. So on and off. I love motorsport. I've been in it most of my life. Enjoy driving as well as crewing. I've driven Bathurst, Phillip Island, QR, Lakeside, Morgan Park, just about most of Oran Park. Actually drove the last race here when it closed. Probably the highest achievement was the class win at Bathurst. Thought that was good. Other than that, just enjoying racing. I'm going to say it's just great to be out here, and it's not about results. It's about being with a great bunch of people and having a lot of fun. Well, it's pretty affordable. You can usually pick up one of these cars for somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. You run, the tyre cost is reasonable. Motor racing is expensive. It's not a cheap sport. And if you're going to be involved in it, put a little bit of money aside, but budget and do what you can do. The biggest recommendation I give to anyone is to actually budget and do what you can afford to do. Don't stretch yourself. Sometimes it can be a little bit daunting, especially the faster cars, but at a weekend like this, we know most of the guys that drive the faster cars, they know us, we know which way it's going to go. It gets a little bit hairy interstate, but I've got to say here it works out pretty well. And they know, they respect the smaller cars and their inability to be as fast as them and give everybody racing room, which is really what it's all about. I'd say my favourite track would be Phillip Island. That's an awesome track. Every time you race here, you feel like you're in the middle of Europe and it doesn't cost as much. I'd have to drive the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife. I want to do that before I hang up my helmet. That's a goal of mine, and I hope soon, the next few years, I can do that. I'd have to say that is the most awesome track. To think you can do a lap that lasts about 10 minutes is just something, you've got to actually do it, I think, before you die. I'd have to say it was always Alan Moffat in the early days. But then as we got older, all the guys that drive these days are, good, and I follow them all. Probably these days, I'd have to say Valentino Rossi, the motorbikes, because I just think what he does is awesome for his age. I suppose last but not least, I'd like to thank the great sponsors that keep this event going for us. Without them, it'll never happen. WellPro, they've been the series naming right sponsor now for a few years actually, and they've done a great job. My good mate Greg Quince at the Pothole People. If you've got a pothole, he'll fill it up for you. Graham Lusty, another competitor of ours, great guy, would always chips in and helps everybody. Good to see him being involved. Of course, the boys at Williams Race Service, especially with the Genettas, they bring a little bit of colour to it, and of course Lubrimax for their great oil.